Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy you're here. If you think I'm glowing because I'm pregnant, I'm not. I'm actually sweating because it's so hot in here. But I am pregnant, so maybe I'm glowing. This is a baby, it's a girl, and I'm roughly 21 weeks. We don't totally know when I conceived because I have a 1-year-old who was a baby at the time that I conceived. And I was nursing and I didn't have a period and I didn't know I was pregnant. And that's why I cried sad tears when I found out I was pregnant because I didn't feel ready. But here I am, ready as ever. I have a baby coming in November. Anyway, I don't make these videos because I feel like I'm a pro at anything mom related. I make them because when I had my daughter 5 years ago, I had no clue what I was doing. And I felt overwhelmed and anxious and sad, and I ended up feeling depressed, and it just was not great. And then I had my son last year and life was totally different. And I felt like, gosh, if I could make videos that could help people who basically are like me, who maybe don't know what they're doing or feel a bit intimidated or nervous, I would love to do that and make your life easier. So these videos are like me and you, friends, doing this mom, parent, pregnancy, baby life together. And I'm really excited that you're here. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I'd love to have you. My Instagram is @Jess_Hover. And we have a Facebook group if you are looking for more support in your parenting journey. It's called Jess, Hover, and Friends. Really great people, get connected, cheer each other on. We'd love to have you. So today's video is all about pregnancy, and I'm super excited that you're here. And if you're pregnant, congratulations. And if you're trying to get pregnant, I believe in you. And if you aren't and you're just here because you're a great person, thank you so much. You're so nice. This is going to be my very first video of perhaps a series of videos that we will do. It will either be called Pregnancy 101 or You're Pregnant, Now What? It's for those of you who are pregnant and are wondering, now what? Your life, your baby, your style, all of that is gonna look really specific to you. So in any video I make related to parenting, motherhood, any of that, just know that I come at you kind of from like a friend, sister standpoint of like, this is what I do. It's working for me. It may work for you, it may not. But in the meantime, I just like hanging out with you and love that you're here. So you're pregnant, so excited, how fun, hopefully fun. The beginning of pregnancy is not typically very fun. For me, I have never enjoyed the first trimester of pregnancy, not any of the times I've gone through it. Specifically, this one was the worst, I think, with Wilson, so my son who's a year old. I also really didn't like that one. I was moving, so we were living in Spain, moving back to California, and I got the flu and was pregnant. So that sucked too. But this one was really tricky for me. I was super nauseous, so tired, quarantined with a 4-year-old, attempting homeschooling, preschool, whatever that looks like, and just not my favorite. Hopefully your first trimester is going way better than that. But I'm going to share with you some things that you'll find online if you were to Google this stuff, things you should know about pregnancy, and then just personal experience. So when it comes to nausea, let me just start there. If you are in your first trimester, it's very likely you're experiencing nausea sometimes. That's good. That means your body is doing all the things that it's supposed to do, and the pregnancy hormones, they just sometimes make you feel nauseous. And so I guess the good part of that is that your body is growing this little baby, and that's exciting. Should you tell people you're pregnant? That is a common question that you get. It's really up to you. Basically, the way that I have thought through that is like, if I was gonna miscarry, there are certain people in my life that I would want to talk to about that. So those are the people that found out about my pregnancy almost right away. The general public didn't find out about my pregnancies until later on, probably around 12 weeks. For me, that was because around 12 weeks is when they say the risk for miscarriage goes down substantially. And so I felt like more secure in myself to let people know. But I have friends who tell people, like a lot of people, I have friends who announce it online moments after they take the pregnancy test. So it's really about your personality, your style. And if, God forbid, anything were to go wrong, how would you want to process that, and who would you want to be involved in that? The nausea thing though, back to that, what could you do to help with your nausea? Well, for me, I had nausea with this one all around the clock. I would even wake up in the night and vomit. So this one was pretty intense, and some things that helped me: sour candy, that's helped with all 3 of my pregnancies. Lemonade, lemon water, anything sour for some reason was very helpful. There's a thing that you can get online, they're pretty cheap on Amazon. It's Preggy Pops, and they are specifically designed for nauseous pregnant women. And so I recommend them. I have them. They say eat food consistently all throughout the day. The more hungry you get, the more you feel nauseous. So for me, I just had snacks all the time. Protein apparently helps. So I tried to have protein snacks, and then avoid anything that makes you feel gross. Something kind of fun about pregnancy is that your sense of smell is really strong. I say that's fun because I love when I walk by flowers and I feel like I am suddenly in the secret garden because I smell them so strongly. That's great. It's not as great when I walk by a bathroom and I feel like I'm inside of the toilet. That is an unfortunate part of this life. But yeah, your sense of smell is probably going to be pretty strong. In the beginning, you're going to probably feel bloated. Unfortunately, you won't look pregnant quite yet, so people won't, know that. It is fun later when people start to recognize that you have a little baby bump. That's so cute. But in the beginning, you'll just probably still want to loosen your pants because you'll feel a bit bloated. When should you call your doctor? Typically, as soon as you take a positive pregnancy test, you could call and make an appointment. I think that if you've taken a positive pregnancy test, you are 4 weeks pregnant, because they measure that according to when your last menstrual period was, not your last sexy time that probably got you pregnant. So you took the test, you're probably about 4 weeks. You, I think, would see the doctor around 8 weeks. For me, that's how it's been. And then they would take a blood test to confirm that you are pregnant, and then begin kind of your prenatal experience from there. You're gonna wanna get a prenatal vitamin if you haven't done that already. We live in such a beautiful time in the world that there is such a thing as gummy prenatal vitamins, and I highly recommend them. I really like them. But I actually have told some people on the internet that, and then gotten feedback from people saying, no, don't take those, take something else. Everybody has opinions on that. Find something that you feel good about and that your doctor or midwife or whoever's gonna be with you in that feels confident in. You want a prenatal vitamin along with a balanced, healthy diet. So it's not one or the other. You're gonna wanna have both. Something fun about pregnancy is there's gonna be stuff that you really crave and like, typically, kind of over the top maybe. For me, this time around, I have really enjoyed everything pickle flavored. But then there's also probably gonna be things that you normally like and you really don't like right now. For my first trimester, I did not want coffee, which is not like me at all. I love coffee. Second trimester though, I'm back on the coffee situation. Here's what you can know about caffeine. The general advice that I have found from doctors and also from the internet is you want to consume basically about the same amount that you were having prior to pregnancy, unless that's a lot, unless that's more than maybe what you should. So maybe like 1 to 2 cups of coffee a day is fine if you were already doing that, is the general advice I've gotten. You will want to avoid alcohol and smoking and like recreational drugs, marijuana. Probably now is not the time for that. I will say though that some of you live in different countries. I live in America, and you may actually have different medical advice. So here they say no drinking, but I have been to different parts of the world where pregnant women do drink. Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you what's here, and here that's not recommended. Exercise. So in the beginning of pregnancy and kind of all throughout for me, you're probably gonna feel tired, so you're gonna wanna rest as much as you can. With that said, exercise is still really valuable, and I think in my experience and in friends' lives, we've seen that exercise has helped make for a healthy pregnancy, a really like much smoother delivery, and recovery from all of that. So I recommend walking, swimming, kind of the same advice as the coffee. It's whatever you were doing before pregnancy, you can probably maintain, but you would want to confirm that with your doctor. And so if you're somebody who works out a lot, at least in the beginning, what I've been told is you could probably still do that unless you're high risk or unless the workouts are really not the most accommodating for a pregnant body. But in the past, they used to be really like weary of women who are pregnant exercising, and now it's more like, yes, please move your body. That's good for you and good for the baby. Get sleep, take naps. That's harder if you already have kids, for sure. I'm in that situation and everybody's home because of this quarantine life. One thing my best friend Becca said, she's here in the director's chair helping me do this video. She reminded me that this might be a time when you want to invest in a sound machine for yourself if you have other kids, because sometimes what happens is you go to take a nap and someone else is caring for your kids, and then you hear the kid crying and it's really hard for you to fall asleep because you want to go save the day. Sound machines are great for that because you can't hear them as well. And so yeah, really good advice. For me, insomnia while pregnant, insomnia, yeah, that's the word. Usually that's a pretty normal thing that happens when you're pregnant, especially towards the end, right before you're gonna deliver. Pretty common that women don't sleep as well. Kind of big and bulky and I don't know. Unfortunately, I've experienced that since the very beginning of this pregnancy, and what has helped me is taking magnesium. I also have magnesium oil from a brand called Mother that I put on my body, on my legs, and it helps with restless leg syndrome. I also have a pillow that's specifically for going in between my legs, and that is because at some point in pregnancy, I believe it's like the beginning of the second trimester, it's not recommended for you to sleep on your back anymore because the way the baby is positioned, it blocks some sort of artery, and you need blood flow to you and the baby. And so they say sleep on your side, and the pillow that I have helps me do that more comfortably and sleep better. I also have started to avoid anything that's going to stimulate my mind before bed. So screen time right before sleep is not the most helpful. Even like the other day, Sean and I were talking before bed, and it wasn't a particularly stressful conversation, but the stuff he was bringing up was reminding me of all of these things that I needed to think about. And I asked him if we could talk about it another time because I felt like I was not going to be able to fall asleep if I was thinking about it. Oh, you're going to need to drink a lot of water while pregnant, but actually you have to pee a lot, just more than normal. The hormones make that happen. And then especially once the baby gets bigger and is sitting on your bladder, then you pee extra. So if you're struggling to sleep at night, maybe don't drink so much water right before you fall asleep because you're going to get up way more than normal. And then in my experience, it's hard to fall back asleep once I'm awake in the night. Avoid kitty litter. There's germs in the kitty litter that can cause something that's very dangerous for your baby. So if you have a cat, have someone else change the kitty litter. Sometimes in the first trimester, you will spot. Spotting is normal, but if you're concerned, call your doctor. I think always default to that. If something feels a little off, feel free to call your doctor. Seafood is fine. Avoid high levels of mercury in seafood. So you can Google what fish has a high mercury in it, and just don't have too much. But seafood's good. Seafood's got a lot of vitamins, but raw meat, not so much. So raw sushi, really raw or undercooked anything, not so good. And if you're concerned, like now is not the time to take risks on something that's been sitting in your fridge for a while and you're just not sure if it's still good. The reason for that is you could get food poisoning, which is crappy when you're not pregnant, but when you are pregnant, it could be really dangerous for your little babe. So just don't take risks on food if you're not totally sure that it's healthy and cooked well. Deli meat, they say to be aware, you shouldn't have that unless it is heated up to the point of steaming, because then it will kill any bacteria. Sex, you can have sex, and the only reason why that wouldn't be possible is if the doctor tells you that you have something that like placenta previa, is that what it's called? Yeah, that, or just some risk inside, that would make it so that you don't do that. In my experience and what I've seen from people is that there's a certain point of your pregnancy where you want to have sex way more than normal, and it feels really fun. So that's something. Ironic, isn't it? Your body starts looking all like the Grinch, but you're like ready to go. That's fun. Anyway, I mean, your body won't look like the Grinch. Sometimes I feel like mine has, but go to the dentist. That's one thing we found. Go to the dentist. Eat well. Oh, I should read this and then put the phone down. Don't sit too long. So especially if you're taking a long flight, they would tell you to get up and move your body, move your legs. You can wear compression socks. That helps with circulation. I also elevate my feet a lot. My family were prone to getting veins, spider veins, varicose veins, all the veins on our legs. And pregnancy has made that worse for every time. So anything I can do to get the blood flowing in my legs, I do that. On a similar note, stretch marks. Stretch marks seem to be hereditary, but there is stuff you can do to help. Drink a lot of water. Creams. You can put creams on your tummy and oils on your tummy. I'm happy to list below what I use. I've been using a product from my friend's company called Texas Tallow, which I really like. And then Mother is another company that I like that has an is it everything oil? Mm-hmm. Everything oil, yeah. So you literally can put it everywhere, and that feels nice. Yeah, but what I'll say about stretch marks is don't stress about them too much. If you get them during pregnancy, that's okay. You've done a great thing. And after pregnancy, they will likely fade. And then there's even like treatments you can do if you want to go to a dermatologist and see how you can reduce the appearance of stretch marks. That's a thing. But let's not stress too much. You have so much going on right now. We don't have to worry about that. If you have headaches, that's a thing that sometimes happens during pregnancy. You can take acetaminophen. Check with your doctor. But as far as I understand it, the only headache medicine we can take is acetaminophen, which is Tylenol, not ibuprofen. I don't really know why. You might get pretty gassy in the beginning or all throughout. You know, light candles, essential oil, hang out by yourself for a while, you're fine. Calming tea. There's different companies that make tea for pregnancy. Earth Mama, I know, has some, and they can be helpful for like an anti-anxiety type tea, or as you get closer to your delivery, there's a raspberry leaf tea that they say can help stimulate and get you ready for delivery. It can help you induce, apparently, they say. If you start to get heartburn, that's pretty normal. What I will say is that old wives' tale, is that the word? Is that if you have a lot of heartburn, your baby's gonna have a lot of hair. And both my pregnancies prior to this, I had heartburn and my babies came out with heads full of dark, dark hair. So I don't know, maybe. But something you can do is avoid spicy things. What?
I was gonna say something you can do to make it lighter.
Yeah, that's funny. People write me asking how I made my kids' hair lighter because they were born with like almost black hair and now their hair is blonde, blonde, blonde. And I did nothing. I just held them close and told them I loved them. And I think maybe the sunshine helped, but I don't know. I didn't do anything. Avoid spicy foods if you're experiencing heartburn, that might help. Don't forget to wear sunscreen and a hat. So when you're pregnant, you can get something on your face. In this moment, I can't remember what it's called, but basically it's brown spots on your face that come. And I sort of have one actually right up here, but the more you're exposed to the sun, the more likely that will happen. It does go away after pregnancy, but you can help it by not being exposed to the sun. Also, some people get a line right down the middle of their belly. What is that called? Maybe it's not up here, maybe it's down here. I have never gotten it clearly, but that's just a thing, and it goes away as well, so you don't have to worry about that. Your baby's really great, even when it's tiny. When you first find out about it, it's gonna be the size of like a poppy seed and then an apple seed and then grows bigger and bigger. But even while it's that small, incredible things are happening inside of that little seed. Like the spinal cord is developing and organs are developing and a heartbeat is gonna start when it's so teeny tiny. It is just crazy. So don't dismiss your little baby pregnancy. This is a really cool thing. And eventually that baby is going to be bigger and it's going to come out of you and it's going to love you. And that's really beautiful and you're going to love it very much. You can talk to your baby, you can sing to your baby, you can let your baby listen to music. You'll start to feel your baby move around, when will you? Around 15 weeks maybe? If it's your first pregnancy, usually this stuff happens later. So you start to show later because your body is so used to being tight and it needs to loosen up. So like with this pregnancy being my third and being so close to my last one, everything has happened earlier. I showed way faster. I could feel the baby move faster. I could see the baby moving on the outside and friends could feel the baby move. And that all happened way earlier than my previous pregnancies. Yeah, so I'm 21 weeks now and I can actually see the baby like from the outside when it moves. That's special. Some people during pregnancy, they like to be as natural as possible. So this is when they choose all natural makeups, natural deodorant. They don't color their hair. You can do that. I probably did that more so previously. And then right now I feel like I just use what I have. And also because it's hard to go to the store right now. Everything feels hard right now. But that's coronavirus. So we'll just let that be. In future pregnancy videos, we will talk about nesting, making a baby registry. You do not have to do that. If this is like, if you just found out you're pregnant, you have time. You're welcome to start researching what products you like, talk to friends. You can talk to people about maternity clothes. I've told you in previous videos, for this pregnancy, I've been using Nuuly, which is a clothing rental subscription program, and they have maternity wear, and I really like it. And I will put a code below that you can use to get $10 off your first month if you want to do it. This is not a sponsored video. I pay for the service, but it has been really helpful for my ever-changing body right now. Yeah, anyway, so you can do like the basics of reaching out to people and asking what they use, what they like, that kind of thing, but you don't have to throw yourself into that if you're in the first trimester and just trying to survive it. You can do it later, and we'll talk more about what that could look like. Pregnancy is a weird thing in that you really don't get to choose how your body takes pregnancy on. So you don't get to choose how you carry. Do you show early? Some people show in like it's a really round kind of cute thing, and they show very much in their belly and they don't really show anywhere else in their body. Other people, we show everywhere. I mean, my feet have been swollen pretty much since the first trimester this time around. Previous pregnancies, it wasn't like that. I say that because you're still gonna feel this like vulnerable thing that you probably experienced as a teenager, and all throughout life we kind of go in and out of, and it's this insecure, sort of vulnerable, like, oh my gosh, what's happening to me? I hope that it looks pretty. I hope that it does what it's supposed to. I hope that this baby's healthy. There's a lot that is out of your control. And on top of the physical, like how you wear your pregnancy, there's then the out of control feeling towards your baby's health. Will I miscarry? Will something be wrong with this baby? And you could go crazy in your mind if you let your mind just go to all the scary places that it could possibly go. And as your friend and somebody who has been here before, as much as you can keep yourself from doing that, protect yourself from comparison. You don't need to go looking at other women's Instagrams to see what they looked like when they were as far along as you. If any of that kind of thing is going to bring about negative feelings inside yourself, just avoid it. Do whatever you can to enjoy this time of life, to be excited, to cultivate like really good emotions towards the pregnancy, the delivery, life after. For me, praying has been helpful. There's podcasts I listen to that have been helpful, but yeah, just really protecting yourself from the comparison and fear and anxiety that can creep in. Even something that I was talking about yesterday with a friend is like, they tell you not to stress during pregnancy because it can affect the baby negatively. But for me, that's actually stressful. If I'm feeling stressed and then someone's like, don't stress because you could hurt your baby, I promise I am now more stressed than I was before. And so you don't need to stress about getting stressed. Just do whatever you can to enjoy and chill and prepare as best as possible, and know that you're not alone. And this is a really beautiful time of life and a temporary time of life. So as hard as it might be in certain moments, it's gonna pass. And I believe it's going to be worth it. I really do. Yeah, that's the thing that we hold to, is that it's totally going to be worth it, and you're going to love the life that comes from this. And yeah, so I'm cheering for you. Thank you so much for watching. If there's stuff you want me to cover in future pregnancy videos, let me know. And you're just doing great. You look beautiful, and this is going to be awesome. Oh, follow us on Instagram. If you're a mom looking for more support, or really a parent looking for more support, we have a Facebook group called Jess Hover and Friends, and we would love to have you join us there. And yeah, we're just excited. We'll see you really soon on our next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.